Hello, dear friends, and good morning on Wednesday, Mercury's day. Today, it's so interesting that we have two aspect configurations that include creative aspects. One includes Saturn, Venus, and Uranus. The other one includes the Moon, the Sun, and Mars. So we can expect some kind of really interesting turns of events, and we can make some interesting new choices to move in a different direction. The energy is overall very active because the moon is in Aries during the whole day. And at the beginning of the day, we have a trine with Mercury, and later on, we have a sextile with Jupiter. So the moon is, we call this in astrology, passing the light from one planet to the other. And it's so interesting that Mercury and Jupiter are about to get in an opposition in the next few days. So overall, there is an intense communication between those two planets because also they are in mutual reception. They have kind of like switched their places. Both of them are in weak signs, and both of them will get into a conflict. But today, the moon is kind of like balancing the situation and passing the light. What this means is that we need to find the balance between our small ideas, plans, and tasks, and the bigger vision, our goal, where we are going to. And the main risk here, we may switch places. We may over focus on minor things, and we may consider them as very important. And on the other side, we may neglect the bigger things, the things that are more significant and important. So one of the main things for today, make sure to really look into your own priorities and to make sure that you know what is really important and you are rechecking yourself. Are you wasting time on things that are not significant? Are you dramatizing over some tiny, small details, which is not allowing you to focus on the big stuff? So that's one of the big important topics for the next few days. But today, we may notice this more through the actions that we are taking because of the moon in Aries, because she is passing the light. So be proactive, try to do things, but whenever you have the impulse to do something, make sure you check, okay, is this really the main priority right now? And about the creative configurations, which are really interesting, especially the Saturn, Venus, and Uranus one, because it's a bit more stable. It will stay for a bit longer than the other. This configuration requires from us, or no, it doesn't really require, it's more like it brings the possibility for us to change something in terms of how we organize things, in terms of our schedule, in terms of our structure. And pay attention to your own desires. What would you like to change? What would you want to make in a different way to experiment with? This may apply to our relationships, to financial stuff and money, to any creative ideas that we may have. So try to focus on this, but from this perspective, what do I want to change? That's the important question, not what I have to change or what I should or external things. Try to really ask yourself internally, what do I honestly, deeply want to change? And the other configuration, creative aspects between the Sun, Mars, and the Moon. This is also about our ability to be proactive today and to do something in the outside world, to express ourselves in some way, to let others know about something we are doing through our actions again, because the Moon is in Aries and also Mars is very proactive. It's interesting how, again, we have some receptions here. It's not exactly mutual reception, but the moon is under the rulership of Mars. And Mars is under the rulership of the Sun. The Sun is under the rulership of Pluto, or if we use the old rulerships, the Sun goes back to Mars as well. So it really brings the focus to the expression of our own willpower, which happens only through our actions. That's the only way for this to happen. So concentrate on yourself and keep in mind that today we have more energy available to us to do more things. Things that, again, are an expression of something that we want, our own willpower. So quite dynamic, interesting way. And we can kind of like turn all of this energy into something concrete, because whenever we have closed configurations, it always brings the possibility to get to a final result. So those actions, this dynamic energy, those new choices that we can make can bring concrete results. I love this. As a Capricorn, honestly, I love results. So I hope you will have a productive, nice, and interesting way. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.